Hi, I'm Cindy Cloward, and today we are talking about Riley Blake Designs machine embroidery. We recently introduced machine embroidery to the home sewing market, and today I have Jennifer Long joining me to talk about this machine embroidery, and she's an industry expert, and she also oversees our Riley Blake Designs machine embroidery program.
I am so excited to be here, Cindy. I could talk about embroidery machines all day long and all of the things that we've been doing.
And what do you think is the number one thing that sets us apart at Riley Blake?
Oh, for sure, fabric coordination.
We have beautiful fabrics. We've made fabrics for over 15 years, and we love all our designers and our fabric collections. And this just takes fabric to a new level, right?
It for sure does. So in machine embroidery for Riley Blake Designs, we are just enhancing what our designers have already designed. We were taking those designs to the next level through all kinds of different stitching, and in the hoop projects, we also are doing exclusive projects that you can't find anywhere else but for RBD Machine Embroidery.
And we do have amazing designers. So many amazing designers, and we are just highlighting their artwork in a different way.
And it really sets Riley Blake apart as we are focusing on our designers for machine embroidery.
And the next thing is innovation. We have so many innovative things that we've done with machine embroidery. Everything from quilts to
freestanding applique to in the hoop dolls, and we've developed all kinds of new techniques and processes for corner stitches and cover stitches, and even for structures coming up. So lots of different innovative development happening.
And I also want to mention that our patterns are technically sound. Talk more about that, Jennifer.
Absolutely. We have an entire dedicated team to machine embroidery at Riley Blake Designs, and we have the highest standard. Both we're using our quilt pattern knowledge and all of our machine pattern knowledge to pull it all together to make easy step-by-step fully illustrated instructions and digitized files for you.
The last thing I wanted to mention, that this is shop supported.
Absolutely. So if you want to get a USB, you can pick up the USBs from your local quilt shops. And if you have any questions, you can always go back to those shops, and they are there to help you.
So we hope we piqued your interest about machine embroidery. We invite you to watch our next video as we will sit down and talk about all things machine embroidery at Riley Blake Designs. Welcome back, where we are all nice and cozy, and we're ready to talk about all things Riley Blake Designs machine embroidery. So Jennifer, cheers. We've got lots to talk about.
I can't wait, Cindy. It's going to be such a fun visit.
So let's get started with the first question. What makes Riley Blake Designs machine embroidery so unique?
For sure, it's our designers and our fabrics. So that is something extremely unique and special about Riley Blake Designs, is that we are doing our machine embroidery designer focused. Let's just take Lori Holt's quilt and we'll talk through that.
Yes, it's so beautiful. And I'm new to machine embroidery, so the USB comes in this case, and you can make a small quilt, and you can even make this larger size quilt, which is very unique.
That's right. That's right. So a couple of things that make Riley Blake unique for the machine embroidery space is that we are doing full-size quilts, but we are doing this designer focus. So you can see that we are using the work of the machine to enhance what the designer has already designed.
And look at these. These are all out of thread, right?
Completely out of thread.
Mini quilt blocks, all out of thread.
And Cindy, if you can notice all of the embossed detail here, this is all mimicking Lori's fabric. So we have really put in, our whole team has put in so much work to make sure that we are designer focused.
So what I'm hearing and what I've been told is that you've taken like designs from her fabric and incorporate it into like this little mini quilt pattern.
That's right, I know. And you can do multiple of these little blocks in one hoop, so it's fast and quick and easy. It's just by a press of the button. It's all the good things machine embroidery.
Well, I'm new to machine embroidery, and I recently learned how special our cover stitches are. Talk about the cover stitches.
I'd love to. So cover stitches, the reason why we have a cover stitch is so that you don't have a raw edge on your fabric. So this is unlike a turned applique. You put this down like a raw edge applique, except you don't want to have the fraying of the fabric. So in machine embroidery, we do something called a cover stitch. Now, you'll need to get the USB to see the secrets of underneath that cover stitch of what we've developed at Riley Blake. But let's talk about what's on top. So on top, we have this special embossed, and again, a different one for each designer because we are so designer focused. So Lori has like this very like cuteness embossed, very, again, mimicking her designs, whereas Janet Recker-Frisch has a completely different cover stitch. So it's pretty exciting and groundbreaking.
And I love that it's so special, and we're using all the fabrics to make the embroidery. So you got fabrics, embroidery, and then you've just got a really beautiful finished product. So
yeah, and you can just see how it complements, sorry to interrupt you, see how it complements the design so well, and it works together so easily and fun. And then the fabrics, you need to get the fabrics because they pull together with the thread colors and just they mimic what's happening inside the fabrics as well. So really exciting.
Okay, so talk to me about technically, what's different about Riley Blake Designs technically?
Right. Okay, excellent. So let's just put this down for a second. So technically, like we said, our cover stitches, what's underneath them, we are doing a 2 rows of underlay underneath our cover stitches. So when you do trim them, if you have that sort of insurance policy, so if you end up cutting one, you won't cut the other one. Different things. Let me just grab our patterns for this,
okay,
if I can. So this is the PDF pattern. We printed it out here.
And I love that you have it in a Lori Holt notebook. I mean, that's a hefty pattern.
Yes, so this is the pattern that you will find inside of this USB. And you can have whatever size that you want. So this is for, I do want to,
the details of this are astounding. Look at this.
It's so exciting. So,
and I love that you have so many pictures, so you know exactly each step.
For sure. So we have developed at Riley Blake Designs these icons, which really makes it easy for our customers and our shops to do this in classes, but also just to follow along with quick, easy steps. If there's a number on the pattern, then that correlates to your machine. If it's an action step, like they need to trim, then it doesn't have a number and it has a trim step. And it tells you if it's a cover stitch and what thread colors to be changing things to. So it's really enjoyable and fun to follow along. You can do it on your iPad, or you can print it out and get a beautiful binder just like this.
Yeah, this is the way to go. So
yes.
Very nice. So what does it mean, because you've talked a lot about this, stitching in the hoop? What does that mean?
Yeah, okay, so in the hoop, every machine company and every hoop is a different size. Mm-hmm. And so what we try to do is find sizes that are industry standard. So we have 4x4, 5x7, 6x10, 8x12, 9x14. And we just want to make sure that our customers are aware of something called a stitchable area. So what a stitchable area is the actual rectangle inside of your hoop that you are stitching on. It doesn't mean measuring from the outside of the hoop. It means measuring inside. So if you have a different shaped hoop, maybe it's a circle, maybe it's an oval, you want that rectangle that is a 5x7 if you're going to do the 5x7. And inside our patterns, it always says, choose your size, and it kind of gives you a direction. So it asks you to make sure that the hoop that you're using just to test that stitchable area.
Okay, so make sure that stitchable area in the hoop is the actual correct size.
That's right,
okay.
Yes.
Okay, so what makes the Riley Blake Designs machine embroidery in the hoop process different?
We have a lot of different things that we have incorporated already. So from our cover stitches for each designer to our designer stitches, but different things like the in the hoop dolls. Now these are done completely in the hoop, and this is licensed through Sew a Story and licensed with Riley Blake Designs, and there's no other company that's doing it this way. So that is super exciting. These dolls are completely in the hoop, which means a beginner can even do them.
So that sounds really interesting. What does that mean?
To completely in the hoop means that the limbs will be stitched and all of this detail will be stitched, and the final stitch will be sewn together too in the hoop. You have to just take it out and turn it, but we will have other videos that will come in this series that will go deeper onto each of these projects.
So you can do everything in the hoop, but you'll just take it out and end up stuffing it, and then you're done.
Yes.
So that makes it really achievable. And a beautiful way to make dolls. So
100%. And then doing things like full-size quilts that are completely in the hoop. So to do the whole blocks on a quilt in the hoop that have the grass even is sewn together.
Even down to the details, putting all the blocks together. That's in the hoop as well.
That is.
Okay,
so
that seems really
in the
special.
hoop means that projects are done completely inside that hoop. So sometimes they can just be the block, but sometimes they can be a 3D element. And especially in releases coming in the future, we have a lot of projects that are coming together in the hoop, and our team has been working really hard to be innovative, to find different ways to do structures and different bags and different things that are in the hoop.
Okay, that sounds so interesting, and more to come on that. So take us through, highlight the various techniques in different project files.
Yeah, great. So again, here we talked a little bit about the dolls, and so how we're going to have them done completely in the hoop, which means that this final stitch, when you sew them all together to get this shape, it will be identical each time that you'll put these stuffed limbs, and there is a way you'll need to get the USB to do it. There is a completely way to do it, and that is a copywritten way that we have designed together. But other things like, let's pull in Janet's. Let's pull off some of this off our table.
Okay.
And let's pull in Janet's in the wings, because this is epic. It's so beautiful.
I love the 3D element to this.
So we are teaching different things. Like this is freestanding applique, and you can see again that Janet has a different cover stitch.
There is definitely a different texture, a different look to this cover stitch.
That's right. And so all of these blocks, like look at all of this detail, is completely done. So we're getting all of her hand look and
Janet's artwork.
Yes.
This is taken from Janet's artwork. Again, we're designer focused in machine embroidery. So this is Janet's designs.
Like look at the shading on this, and that's all done with your thread. So all you have to do is follow along with your machine. Yes, and so these are all different techniques that we have used and that are in the same kind of a PDF printout that you can find on your USB.
Okay, so explain to everyone how they get the fabric requirements needed to make a project like this.
Yeah, that's a great question again. So on the Riley Blake website, there is a tab that says machine embroidery on it. And if you go to that tab, there are estimate requirements if the project is not finished yet. So it's just so that shops can kind of aid shops in purchasing what they need. But when the project is final and out in the world, there will be final fabric requirements. And we printed off one from the website just to show you here. I'll maybe take this off the table, and I'll show you what it looks like. So we've done it in two ways. So the fabric requirements are labeled with alphabet letters. So each fabric SKU has a letter label, which makes it really easy for shops or you as a consumer to swap out. So if you didn't have this fabric, but you wanted to switch it for another fabric at your shop, then you absolutely could. So we show it in the hometown collection. But then later on in the pattern, we are showing a basics option for requirements. And so that these USBs. So you can do it
solids.
Yeah, solids, or these are actually in B basics.
Okay.
Yeah, and
which are evergreen. Sometimes collections run out and they're not available anymore. So that's a great idea. You're doing it in basics as well.
And that's actually a really good thing to say, is that these USBs are evergreen. So if your local shop is carrying these, then we can have them live forever with different colorings of fabrics.
So if you're looking for these patterns, check with your local quilt shop or check on your favorite online shop, as we are a wholesale manufacturer and we sell to retail shops. So they should be out. But if they don't have them yet, you can request them to get them from Riley Blake Designs.
The one thing I do want to add is that our website, RileyBlakeDesigns.com, has that machine embroidery tab, and that tab is for customers. So there's lots of like FAQ questions on there. There's your fabric requirements. There's all kinds of tips and tricks, and as this program builds and grows, that part of the website will also build and grow. So make sure you check there and check there often.
And we are also going to have supporting videos that highlight machine embroidery, so you can sew along with us, learn as we're learning and growing in machine embroidery.
Right, and these patterns are designed so that our local quilt shops can use them for classes as well. So the way that these fabric requirements are written, the way that each block is written that we have here, they can do a block of the week, a block of the month. The cutting is set up so it's easy and fast cutting for shops to cut for classes as well. So there's going to be so much fun to be had with these USBs.
So tell me about classes. You mentioned classes. What do you anticipate having classes available?
It's going to be for up to each individual shop. So if a shop would like to have a class, they can absolutely run a class with any of our USBs. And we just wanted everyone to know that we were thinking of all of the things when we went and designed these patterns. So these patterns are designed in a way that they are conducive to class teaching, whether it's online classes, whether it's printing out these and giving them for a block of the month kind of a program, however it is that's how this program is designed. When at all possible, we've tried to do everything we can in the machine embroidery hoop. So even like this, the grass, the placement lines, everything we can is in the hoop. For the larger quilts, there is a little bit like the setting instructions, just like a page or two at the very end that you'll have to do on your domestic sewing machine. But for the most part,
for the smaller projects,
completely in the hoop, yes.
Okay, share with me your tips and tricks on cutting and all the things that you need to do with machine embroidery, because I know you've got some good tips.
Yes, so first of all, choosing your project size. So we kind of talked a bit about that a little bit already with the hoop size. So knowing what stitchable area you have, first you want to choose your project size. Once you choose that project size, you are going to decide what fabrics to use. And if you're using our fabrics, there is a shopping list. So like we said, on the website, you can go ahead and get that shopping list. I do also want to point out, Cindy, that on the back of here, if you are shopping for this in the store and they are shrink wrapped, you will just use your phone with this QR code and that will take you directly to this website that we're talking about.
See, we've thought of everything. We want to make it easy for you.
So it's a shopping list that you can go and then you can go and collect your SKUs. And inside there, you're just going to follow along. It's a very easy chart. So we'll just use this hometown as an example here. That like if we're going to have a 6x10 stitchable area, then these are the amounts of fabric that I need. If I have an 8x12 stitchable area, then these are the amounts of fabrics that I need for that. And then for our cutting, we've designed them in a way that's easy and quick for cutting. So let me just explain that if I may. I'll just find the cutting on here. So the cutting, we always do like cut 5-10-inch width of fabric strips and then subcut here. And we tell them, much like Lori does with her sew-alongs, if you're used to participating in a sew-along of hers, we'll say to, align 1 5x5 square for the birdhouse block. So I would recommend a tip and trick is to get all of your design boards out and decide how many of these blocks you're making or label them a birdhouse block. And when you cut your fabric, you'll put it there. One of the difference is then a quilt pattern, if you are coming at this as a quilter, is that these labels are for the fabric, not for the cut piece. So that you have a fabric A here, but the cut piece is just labeled per block. And sometimes that piece might be used a couple times in the block. So if I just can show again here, on Lori's actual quilt.
This is so cute. It looks so detailed.
The magic of machine embroidery is that, let's say this green skew is also used, or here, you can see it right here. This green skew is used here and here. So you're not going to cut two pieces of fabric. This is why it goes so fast and easy.
Really? So it just stitches all at once?
All at once, and then you'll trim that, and then it'll do the cover stitch all at once. So the cut sizes on there might be covering more than one applique piece.
Okay.
Yes.
So have faith in the process, because we tried to simplify it for you, right? Okay, so what if I'm struggling with my stitches and my machine? What do you suggest I do?
Yeah, very common. So number one is just to make sure that you haven't tried to change or bring this USB into any kind of other software than just directly onto your computer.
So it plugs right into
So
your
it comes
computer.
right into your computer, right into your machine directly.
That's the name of the collection on
That's
there.
right. Sometimes things can happen to files when you try to pull it into your own software and kind of like change things around. So we do not recommend that. We recommend using it as it was, or as it is designed. And then things to check if you're struggling is your thread tension.
Okay.
So we always think TNT, so thread, needle, tension, and both in the upper thread and in your bobbin thread. So you can, if you're having any problems with your tension at all or stitches not stitching out beautifully, I do want to say that we have multiple testers and multiple sewists testing this all the way through the process on all kinds of different machine brands and types and sizes. So just check your thread tension. Sometimes it's just a quick and easy fix. Otherwise, you can always go back to the machine shop that you purchased your machine at.
Yeah.
Yes.
Troubleshoot it with
and
them.
troubleshoot it with them too. Make sure that you have the correct hoop size in there. Just go back and check a couple of different things. And then, like you said, have faith in the process.
Okay, very good. So let's talk stabilizers now.
Yay! Okay.
So we recommend a lot of different stabilizers. What does RBD stabilizer guide mean?
So we have a recommendation at Riley Blake for our stabilizers that we recommend to get the results that you are seeing here with our products. And we've made it, again, really easy and thoughtful.
There's so many different types
Yeah,
of
there is so
stabilizers.
many.
How do you know? But we make it easy.
We make it so easy. So we have come up with a guide, like a stabilizer icon guide. And so you can just quickly and easily tell what stabilizer is. So for example, light tearaway or a medium cutaway, into fusible interfacing, into even things like film washaways. And so we explain a lot of this on the website again, but these icons are just really important to know. And then you'll flip over on the same PDF on the website, and we tell you what is recommended. So the type of stabilizer and the product, we will link it right here to get the same results that we have and what it's used. So the no-show mesh, what we recommend by RBD, and what we use it for. Currently, we're using it for dolls, stitch and turn, and in the hoop zipper bags. So just an idea of that. So it's been very thoughtful. It's nicely color-coded. We have it as cutaway, tearaway, washaway, and specialty. Yeah, and so here, I'll let you have one,
Okay,
Cindy.
very good.
It's nice to print this out and just kind of keep it near you, but in the patterns it will also say. So whenever it has this icon, it will always also say light tearaway.
Okay.
Yes.
We've tried to take the guesswork out for you so you know exactly what stabilizer you use to give you the best results.
That's right.
Okay, so would you ever need to use two stabilizers?
Yes, so sometimes we do hoop two stabilizers for different types of projects. And a great example, if I can show you, one is
How cute are those?
coming on the Queen of Ween.
Look at these.
Oh my goodness. So we actually use multiple layers of different kinds of washaway stabilizers. You can feel, Cindy, how strong, that is.
Really
Right. And so we actually have multiple stabilizers in there in the hoop. And then we even put additional stabilizers that you trim out afterwards. So when you're going through your shopping list, if you're thinking, oh, do I need these 4 different stabilizers?
Yes,
you do.
Yes, you do. That is so stiff. I didn't anticipate how stiff. Okay.
It's wonderful.
So very cute.
So this is called freestanding applique.
Okay.
And it's done in the hoop. So that means that the stabilizer that was here is washed away. So you can see how this cover stitch, you can't see any of the fabric. It's not a turn, but the machine actually finishes
Covers
that edge.
Okay.
Yes, so it's really fun. That's how you get these nice insides as well.
Oh.
And it's just washed away.
Oh, beautiful. So you actually put water on it at the end.
That's right. And there will be a video explaining this in this series as well.
Okay,
Yes.
very interesting. Okay, next thing to talk about is threads. Yeah. Tell me about thread choice, how you choose threads, and what we recommend in the USB.
Great. So again, in the USB, everything you can find is in that PDF pattern. Even links to what we've been talking about here. So even links to things on the website, there are clickable links. So if you have this on your iPad or on your computer, you can click on find the fabric requirements here. And so threads. So it's saying here, threads and supplies that needed. So we've done them very similar to how we've done the fabric, and we've given these threads a number. So instead of a letter, they have a number, and then we've curated them. Right now we're using a thread brand that you can follow here, but we also have a thread conversion chart on the website.
Okay, to match colors if you're not using that brand.
Right, so whatever thread that you personally like, thread can be so personal sometimes, so whatever thread that you like, there is a conversion chart out there. So we've linked to one, and you can just follow along with the threads. Now into the pattern, you will notice that, we'll get into the pattern here, that there is a thread icon that has the number. So let's say this one is thread number 8. And so you already have had them. This is thread number 8, and it tells you which one that it is. So it's really quick and user-friendly and easy to kind of follow through with it. And you can curate your own thread bundles, especially if you've updated to the basics, and we've done that in the basics as well.
And if you already have the fabric, you can always take the thread into your shop and match fabric colors that way.
It's part of the fun.
Okay, take me through how a machine reads threads.
Oh, I'm so glad you asked this question, because every machine has a different library of threads in there depending on the age of the machine and just even what kind of threads that machine works the best with. So not necessarily will your machine be able to read every thread that we have used. So it's really, really important that you do follow along with this thread guide, so you know that you are using a red, for example. Okay. So if you come over here, that you are using a red and a green, because of the way that machines take in that information can maybe alter that color to be the next color in line, which might end up being a brown on the machine, or it might end up being a yellow. So if you want the same look, do make sure that you are following the PDF. Everything in here is the color that it should be. So if you want this same look, then you're going to want to make sure that you follow along with those thread colors.
Okay, very good. Okay, tell me about file formats. What have we provided for file formats? Yes,
so on the USB here, Cindy, you can see that there's all of these file formats. We have all of the file formats that every machine brand can read and take. If you put your USB into your machine, it will automatically read the format that it can read. And if it can read more than one, because some machines can read different ones, you can use both of them. But it's always a good idea, if you're not familiar with your machine or file formats, to ask your machine dealer or look at your manual and find out which one makes your machine the happiest. But they are all the formats are there.
We want happy machines.
We want happy machines.
We really do want happy machines. All right, well, show me some of the projects we've been working on. This is fun. I think we've gone through a lot of the Q&A that we had.
So here's the next set of dolls that are coming.
Oh my goodness.
There's a couple other ones. There's a bat coming, but look at all of these adorable, again, completely in the hoop. And RBD owns,
I love Jennifer's dolls.
Owns this license with Sew a Story on how to do these in the hoop. So that's really exciting.
So cute.
Oh, are you ready for this, Cindy?
I am ready for it.
Oh my goodness, look. This is Janet Recker-Fish's gorgeous artwork.
Queen of
Ween.
Look at that. So that takes Janet's artwork, and that is just all machine embroidered down to the little cat.
So the fun part is this is actually applique with thread blending on top.
Is it really?
It is. So it's really, really innovative. Even down to the signature at the bottom here, all of the artwork is pulled together.
The detail is fantastic.
And these borders here, I'll let you hold one and I'll hold one. Okay, these.
Oh my goodness.
These borders. We should hold them this way so they're looking at each other.
See that better, where you can see the thread, the fabric behind it. This is one of Janet's basics. And then you can see the thread over top of it. And then you've got the masquerade. Oh, isn't that fabulous?
And these are done in the hoop as well. So that means that this is stitched, but these are stitched and flipped. So your borders are actually stitched inside your embroidery hoop, so it's really easy to piece on your machine once it's there. But look at all that gorgeous detail, and it comes in multiple hoop sizes.
Again, highlighting the fabric, highlighting the designs of the designer for RBD, and then let's finish on this big quilt.
Okay.
Again, we have a big quilt that was made with machine embroidery.
And there's
Look
multiple
at
sizes. This is the larger size. This is the 9x14 size.
You'll recognize this from a few years back.
Are you ready?
Autumn Love.
Autumn Love. Look at all these details around here. They're so fun and easy. And you might think, how can I get this all in a hoop? Well, we are not doing any kind of tricky placement and re-hooping of any sort. This is actually tiled together. So you do one hoop, another hoop. It's just like sewing a 9-patch together, Cindy.
Oh, isn't
it's
interesting.
easy, easy,
Look at
easy.
that. Well, that is just beautiful. We will put the link in the description to the full Q&A. All the things that we've discussed today will be on the RBD website. And join us for our next tutorial where Jennifer will show you how to use the USB drive.